Searching for this all my life. You're just my type. I've been looking for a boy who can treat me right. Your dark hair, but those eyes so bright.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Scheananigans. It is the 4th of July here in the U.S., and I am here solo in the studio with all of you guys watching, listening, because you sent in a lot of questions. So I'm here to answer as many of them as I can. As you see, sitting behind me, of course, we have my book. If you haven't pre-ordered it yet, mygoodsidebook.com. But we've also got the Labubus. It is true. I have joined the dark side. I saw some questions came in asking me, what did I name my Labubu? And honestly, didn't know I was supposed to give them a name. So the pink lychee berry one was Summer's, and the soy milk one is mine. But so I'm going to tell you guys a little backstory. So also, as you see, if you're watching, I have borrowed my daughter's backpack for today. We were at her friend Rain's birthday party yesterday in Newport. So if some of you saw it on my story, it was the cutest themed birthday party ever. It was equestrian chic, and they had a full Laboo library. It was the Laboo brewery, and all of these clothes. I don't want to say this is going to be my new thing because I don't have the time. However, I got so many cute outfits to take with me on book tour. Like so many of these looks, I was like, you know what? It's giving book tour. So I've got a box full of clothes for my Labubus. I guess I need to name them. I wasn't aware of that. So if you guys want to go ahead and comment below and let me know, what should I name soy milk and lychee berry? Because I hadn't thought about that yet. But I have to tell you. So there was so much going on at this party. Okay, there's horse rides, just like out walking around free, not the ones where they're like hooked up to the circle thing, you know. There was a bounce house, swings, cars, a full playground. I mean, there's so many activities for the kids to do. This was also a part of it. They had like make your own bracelets, dress your Labubu. And it was one of the first things Summer did. She dressed it and then just like gave it to me and was off to do all of the other things. My kid does have a very good memory, but I honestly think that if I just hid these, she may never remember about them or think about it. And I'm going to take both of them on book tour with me. So I told Brock, I said, don't remind her about her little Labubu because I want to keep it. If I were to pick two colors, those would be my two faves. So for now, they're going to be mine. But yeah, I was glad she wasn't like super into it because this is where we stop. We're not going to be collecting all of the colors, all of the themes, the big ones. And there's so many. This I'm happy with. We've got outfits and we're good to go. So back to your questions. My boyfriend's daughter makes nail sets for Labubus if you want her to be really glam. That's from Brooke G's. Okay. I also didn't know that was a thing. Are we allowed to modify Labubus like that? I mean, I would put nails on. That would be such a Scheana Labubu. I don't know all of the rules. So apparently you got to name them. As Sutton would say, name them. And you dress them up, put some nails on, all of the things. But I don't know. Is this going to be like the equivalent of removing the tie tag from the Beanie Babies? I don't know. So stay tuned. You'll be following along my Labubus and I on book tour. We have some really cute outfits they're going to be in. And hopefully by the time I'm on tour, we've figured out names. I would ask Summer's help, but then she might want to keep them, and I'm going to keep them. So anyway. All right. Some questions about the book and book tour. Obviously, you guys want me to talk about my friends, even though here's the thing. It's like I get asked questions about my friends, and I'm on another show, for example, and then people comment and they're like, why are you talking about everyone else? You don't have anything going on in your life. Why can't you just talk about your life? But then I talk about myself and people say, all you ever do is talk about yourself. So I feel like I'm in a lose-lose situation. I talk about myself too much. I talk about other people too much. But you know what? That's the world we're in. We're on reality TV. We all have podcasts. We talk about each other. We talk about ourselves. So deal with it. But to keep it about me on my solo episode, what was the hardest chapter to write in your book? Well, I could tell you to read. The most challenging, like when I recorded my audiobook, was chapter 16. That one was one where I had to take a Xanax before. I had to just take some deep breaths, do one sentence at a time at certain parts because I didn't want to be crying. You will hear emotion in my voice, of course. And I really hope that you guys not only read the audiobook, but maybe have the book with the audiobook playing along with it. Follow along like you did in school back in the day when someone reads aloud. Because I do think the audiobook is going to be really great to hear the emotion and conviction and all of that in my voice. But I mean, a lot of the book, it was challenging to write. Chapter 3, 2 and 3. I mean, just reliving certain things from like my adolescence and whatnot, reliving that, writing about it, having things resurface that I had maybe compartmentalized and forgot about or just hadn't thought about in a couple decades. It was challenging, but we did it. We finished the book. We finished the audiobook, and you guys are going to have it in your hands and ears very, very soon. Sooner than I may be ready for, if I'm being honest. Okay. What are you most excited for or scared for with your book coming out? I'm excited for it to be out on the table, like everything, I mean, I do not hold back in this book. I tell every story. I'm sure I will be judged for how much I put in the book. But then I know I've said this before. There are parts where I'm like, I could have elaborated on that a little more. But that's the beauty of having a podcast. And I will be guesting on so many other shows, is I'll be able to expand on some of those stories that maybe would be a little inappropriate to have in a book that my daughter's going to read one day. She's not going to go back and listen to every podcast I've ever done. So I am excited that Open Book Scheana has written a book about all things me for 39 years. I mean, I'm 40 now, but I finished the book when I was like 39 and a half. So you get all of that. But that's also scary. It's a very vulnerable thing to just put yourself completely out there for judgment from the world, because I'm not holding back. I talk about the deepest, darkest things that have happened in my life. All of the skeletons in the closet are now in the book for your entertainment and hopefully for you to be able to relate to. And that's why I did want to put it all out there and put every single thing in the book, because I know by telling my story and what I've gone through and I'm still going through and working on, I know I'm not alone. And I want you guys to know that you're not alone. And if I could do this in front of the entire world, hopefully you can, get through it in the privacy of your own home and in your small inner circle. So excited, scared. I'm also so excited for book tour. I have always wanted to go on a tour, whether it's a book tour, a music tour, a podcast tour, whatever it is, all the things. I've always wanted to tour. I'm nervous. I am going to be away from my daughter for a long time. I'm nervous for all of the things. I'm like, are people going to come? Are they going to show up? Are they going to buy tickets? I mean, I hope so, but there's a lot of nerves going into this. And I'm not just doing a book signing at stores. I am doing that in several cities. I'm doing that here at the Grove on July 25th at 7 p.m. But it's going to be basically like a live podcast tour. I'm doing a full live show in 11 cities. We're starting in New York with like a moderated Q&A with some very exciting moderators, special guests. I'm really excited for that. But then I go on an 11 city tour, and we're still figuring out exactly what that show is going to look like. I have a fun element in each city that I cannot wait for. And it's going to be really exciting, but I'm also really nervous to do this because as much as I do love to be, the center of attention, as we know, the attention is going to be centered on me and me only. It's not about the show. It's not about the cast. It is about me and my life. So it's exciting, but it is also scary. But we're doing it. We're going to do it. And I know I'm going to be so proud of myself when I do. We're figuring out what dates Summer and Brock are going to come. I'm going to incorporate them, hopefully in some cities and whatnot. But I did see some comments asking, why is it so expensive? Other book appearances and stuff haven't been this much. And I just want to remind you guys that this is not just a bookstore signing. This is a full live show, probably at least an hour, if not longer. And there's going to be so many fun elements to it. But the price of the ticket comes with a copy of the book. It has the fees and all of that included in it. So if it looks a little pricey when you click, just know it's not just paying to come and do a book signing. You're going to be entertained and it's going to be so much fun. What do you think will be the biggest shock when people read your book? I think there are going to be a couple moments that will really surprise people. But other than that, I think it's going to vary on the reader, if I'm being honest. There's a lot about my past, my family, my earlier life experiences that I think the readers will be shocked by. I think people think they know everything about me, but after reading this book, you will, because you 100% do not right now. I can promise you that. You guys don't know everything about me. A side of me from reality TV, a side of me from my podcast, my YouTube. You put it all together, you've maybe got, I don't know, let's say 80% of me, but the book will give you the rest. So I'm excited for that. But more than anything, I think everyone's just going to be getting a lot of added context to a lot of stories that they already know or kind of know. You're going to get the rest of the story. You'll understand why I, maybe said this on the show, why I did this way. And I think just having the context will help you guys understand me more. And, there are some things that I haven't been as forthcoming about, or maybe that I never corrected the narrative on, never shared my side of the story because I've been afraid or thought, if I tell people what I'm actually going through, then they're going to think that I'm trying to take the attention off what someone else is going through and make it about me. And I think that perception of me is what has held me back at times from opening up on the show or on the podcast, because everyone always says, oh, you make everything about you. And yes, sometimes I do. I think we all do. I think we're all guilty of that at some point. But there have also been some times where I literally have absolutely not made it about me. But in my book, I get to make it about me, and you'll hear the sides of my story that I have never shared until now in the book, in my own words, with my control of the narrative for once. So it's exciting. I'll say that again, but also very nerve-wracking. Where can I buy your book from in the UK? Premiere sells worldwide, and I know they're also doing signed copies. I don't know if any are left. We've been posting about that for a while, but that's where you can get it, because otherwise I think you have to go on the Amazon US site, and shipping and all of that I know can be crazy. And, hopefully we can, even if it's not right when the book comes out, hopefully we can do some sort of tour or appearances overseas. I would love to go back to the UK. I would love to go to Australia and New Zealand. None of that is on the calendar right now, but I would love to go worldwide, So stay tuned. I'm going to take a quick little break, grab some water, and I'll be right back. Okay, are you guys into taking care of yourselves as much as I am, as much as my husband is? Because if so, you might need to get yourself a Bon Charge. It is about 10 to 20 minutes each day, nice and easy to use. It is a red light therapy. It's this red light face mask, and you can use it while you're watching TV, cooking, putting the kids to bed. Summer personally gets a kick out of it when Brock and I are walking around the house with this mask on. It's super lightweight on the face. It doesn't get hot. And it's both near infrared and red light, which boosts collagen and elastin production. And as we age, that is absolutely something we need. It is something that I've just been taking so seriously with my face, the fine lines, wrinkles, all of the things. It also works if you have eczema, which I do, scar tissue, razor burns for Brock. And, he gets an ingrown facial hair here and there. If you have a sore jaw, sometimes I grind my teeth at night. It's good for all of the things. Bond Charge ships worldwide in rapid time. It's easy returns and exchanges. 12 months warranty on all red light therapy devices. You guys can go to bondcharge.com and use coupon code GOODASGOLD to save 15%. That's BONCHARGE.com/goodasgold and use coupon code GOODASGOLD to save 15%. Hulu is the place to go for your favorite reality TV. That's right. Hulu gets real. You love reality TV, right? Yeah. Every star, every scandal, every tear, every triumph. Well, who else knows reality? Hulu. That's who. With shows like The Kardashians, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Got to Get Out, Vanderpump Villa, and more, Hulu has reality TV covered. If you're into glamour and romance, things are heating up on Hulu. You can catch all new seasons of Project Runway and Bachelor in Paradise this summer. And coming soon, catch the all-new reality series Love Thy Nader, starring the Nader sisters. Plus, don't miss an all-new season of Love Island UK, streaming only on Hulu. There's so much great reality on Hulu, it's almost too real. So next time you need your reality TV, go to Hulu because Hulu gets real. All right. What is the book tour going to be like? Well, for the touring show, which I said is 11 dates, it is starting in Chicago on July 23rd, and it's going to end in Philly on August 7th. It's going to be a fun, fast-paced, interactive show. Special guests in every city. Some of who you know, some of whom you don't know. It's going to be entertaining. Will there be performances? Maybe. I don't want to say too much because you guys are going to see how the Chicago show goes and know kind of what to expect from the rest of the tour. I don't want to say anything yet because I want it to be a surprise, but there will be the same surprise element in a lot of cities. There will be a different surprise element in some of the cities, but it is going to be entertaining. I can promise you that. It's not going to be just me sitting on stage answering questions for an hour and a half. There will definitely be a portion of that. The cities I have a moderator in, or my husband, or a friend, or, maybe a fellow cast member, they'll be asking me questions. Some cities, we might have my sister go out in the audience and do Q&As and whatnot. So you're going to get that, but we're also going to be playing some fun games. We're going to have some fun prizes every live show. There will be some very cool prizes that you guys are not going to want to miss, and you might not be able to easily get anywhere else. I mean, you guys have all been very instrumental to my journey and to getting to this point. So I am very excited. I can't say that enough. Let's make a drinking game for this podcast. Don't drink and drive, but every time you hear me say excited, take a drink. We're probably drunk by now. But, this isn't going to be just a book tour. It is my first touring show. There have been offers for me to do touring shows before, and we were trying to put it together with the 27s like a year and a half ago. It just didn't feel right at the time. I didn't feel like people were really into the music and supporting me. I think after the book tour, I am going to drop the EP. That has not been a priority of mine, but maybe you'll get a little bit of that on tour. Still, as I said, working it out, but this is going to be me at my very most vulnerable with the people who have supported me throughout my journey. And I just want to celebrate that with as many of you as I can. So I hope you all get tickets. And just remember also, if you haven't got a copy of the book yet with your purchase of a ticket for the live show, you're going to be getting a book. So the book comes with the price of the ticket, as I said. And I know there is a cutoff date, though, because they have to have the books ordered in time. So don't wait until the last minute to order your tickets because I want you all to get your money's worth. And also, I've seen a lot of people ask if I can add Toronto or Canada to book tour. We have talked about maybe adding some additional dates in August. I would love to come to Toronto. I've been there a couple times. I've done press there. I've guest hosted on the news, and I absolutely love coming there. I've also never been to Vancouver. I would love to hit both Canada sides. And if we're able to add some more shows, leave a comment and let me know where we should go. I saw a lot of comments about Florida. I would love to go to every state in America if I could, and to the UK and Australia and do all of the things. I am still a working, busy mom, and I don't want to leave my kid for too long, but, maybe she comes on tour with me. She's in pre-K starting next week. It's okay, I think, if she misses a week of school to come on tour with her mom and get some life experience and travel and all of that. I think that is important as well, rather than just being in a classroom. I think getting out into the world is also important. So, yeah, again, excited, but nervous. Okay. Oh, you know what? I've seen this one a lot. People want to know what my sister Courtney does for a living. She does a lot of things. She is a jack of all trades. She wears a lot of different hats. She does social media for some big celebrities. She has her clothing brand, a Valley Brat. She will go on tour. She's worked as an assistant. She and I have invested in her boyfriend's third, or maybe this is his fourth technically, coffee shop. He has 2, going on 3 or 4 in Vegas soon. And then this first one in Costa Mesa is called Salty Horse. And I'm really excited. We've both invested a lot of money into it. It's almost ready to open. I am so excited. This is genuinely the first thing I've invested my own personal money into. And I'm really proud of him. So she does it all. She helps me with anything I need, whether that's helping style me for stuff or just, helping Facetune my hairline, because I don't know how to do that. I don't want to learn how to do that. I send it to her and say, fix me. I saw comments on the podcast I did with Allie on some social media, and people are like, oh my God, her hairline's already receding. No, it's not. It's always been this way. I looked back at photos of me as a child to be like, Mom, is it your fault that my hairline goes back further on the right side because you pulled my hair so tight as a kid for cheer and dance and all of the things? But I think it's always been like that. I had bangs until I was 10, but after age 11, it was like that. Whether it was my mom's fault or not, guess we'll never know. But that's why I prefer to be shot on the left side, because of my hairline. So that is one thing I will admit I do fix in most of my photos, because it's my biggest insecurity. But I didn't fix it today. So as we're getting this camera angle from this side, I think I look different on each side, but I don't know, whatever. What is a favorite childhood tradition that you want Summer to experience? Ooh. I guess just the standard holidays, like I'm so glad that we get to play Easter Bunny and Santa and do all of those things with her. I think traveling, family vacations. One thing I will say that we haven't done yet is I grew up going to, whether it was Laughlin or Havasu, we grew up going to the Colorado River, and I loved being on a boat. I grew up on speedboats. My dad owned, his brother-in-law owned a boat company that he worked at, and that was just a big part of my childhood. So I would love to get her out on the water more, because I want her to be a kid growing up on the water and not an adult who ends up being seasick when they take a boat to Catalina. Okay. I do see some more questions that came in that I directly talk about in the book. So I'm going to skip those. You guys are going to learn more about my family upbringing in my book. So I'm going to save that for the book. Are you and Lala's family still close? Never really see posts like we did. Yeah, I actually was just over there twice last week. The girls were swimming together. We normally do gymnastics together every week, but Summer has been in summer camp and they haven't been together as much only because we're on summer break right now. But once they're back in school together, they'll be back on the same schedule. But yeah, still super close, still neighbors. And I guess I need to get a post up so you guys see that. But just because we don't post doesn't mean we're not close. I also saw people commenting that I didn't post for Ariana for her birthday. It's not only Ariana's birthday on June 24th, it's also Stassi's, it's also Jasmine's, and it's also my friend Devin's. And then it's like, okay, if I do post for one of them, obviously I have to post for all. And then it's going to be a judgment on who I posted for first and all of that. So I just decided to, at midnight, well, Ariana, because she's in Fiji, I texted her the day before because it was already her birthday in Fiji. But everyone else, I text right at midnight. And to me, that's more important to send a private message literally right at midnight. That is my thing. If I'm still up at midnight and it's your birthday, you know that I'm going to be one of the first people to text you. And to me, honestly, I think that's just more important than posting something on Instagram. Everything doesn't need to be posted on Instagram. So just because I haven't posted Summer and Ocean together recently doesn't mean they're still not best friends. Those kids are inseparable when they're together. They fight like sisters. They love like sisters. And I love their relationship that they have together. Can you spill on the rumors that Lala and Schwartz are secretly dating? I can tell you this. If they're secretly dating from me because I have heard this only online. So as far as I know, there is no truth to this. But I mean, if it's a secret, I guess it's a secret. We know Schwartz can keep a secret. I'm just kidding. No, I don't think there's any truth to that. Is there a reason, is there a reason you don't talk to Schwartz a lot? Again, I do. I text with Schwartz often. I was going to go to Tom Tom for brunch last week. I don't remember why we ended up not going. Oh, I do actually. I was going to meet Demi and Brett for lunch at Tom Tom. They were in town and I had made plans without asking my husband first. And that day, my daughter was with my mom for the night. And Brock was like, look, I don't feel like going to WeHo to go to brunch. We had a show we were going to with all of the parents from summer school. And we had an event after that. And he's like, I think instead of starting the day early, going to Tom Tom, then going to the show, then going to the event, he's like, why don't we stay home, work on ourselves, work out, and do something good for our mental and physical health? And I hated to admit it, but I was like, okay, you're right. So I didn't make it to Tom Tom that day, but I talk to Schwartz all the time. I literally FaceTimed with Schwartz yesterday because I got not one, but two surprise FaceTimes from live shows yesterday. Schwartz called me from his Dallas show, and then Brittany called me from her Nashville show at City Winery, which I was like, okay, well, you're calling me, so I'm going to take a little moment to make this about me. Hey, everyone at City Winery, I will be there soon. So just talked to him yesterday. What's your favorite old school VPR episode? Maybe like a Yellow Robe Smith moment. I don't know. Me on the bar at my engagement party in the tacky tights and gold shorts, you know, a fun throwback. Pride. We always had so many fun Pride episodes. I don't watch old episodes, so this is just going off of memory, not something that I've actually enjoyed watching back because once the reunion is done, I don't watch the show anymore. Then you watch the next season. I don't go back and watch it. One day, you know, maybe I do a full rewatch and recap, but I mentally don't want to go back to that place anytime soon. So, yeah. All right, we're going to take one more break and then be back with the rest of your questions. Gosh, you guys sent in a lot. I'll be right back. Okay, one thing that I think everyone should be doing is a little bit of therapy. And you can do it from the comfort of your own home, from your car, wherever you feel comfortable. Telehealth has made mental health care more convenient and accessible for millions of people. It has been a lifesaver for myself, for Brock, and Rula is on a mission to make high quality mental health care from a licensed professional easy and affordable for everyone. My cousin recently started with Rula. She got paired with a therapist, has regular sessions, and absolutely loves this. I know sometimes it can be hard finding a suitable therapist, scheduling appointments, the expensive out of pocket cost, and it can just keep so many from getting the care that they need. But that's why Rula has got you covered. They take most major insurance plans, which is great. And the average copay is only $15 per session. So you can now get the quality care you need when you need it at a price you can afford. And it isn't just affordable. They stick with you throughout your journey, making sure you get the best therapy and that you're making progress. Rula starts by asking you a few questions about what's important to you and then provides a list of licensed in-network providers who match your preferences. You can schedule your preferred time, meet with your therapist as soon as the next day. So if you're like me and you need therapy, then go to rula.com/goodasgold to get started today. That's RULA.com/goodasgold for convenient therapy that's covered by insurance. And the summer is upon us. Summertime is here. And if you're having a backyard get together like we are, Wayfair's your one-stop shop for outdoor entertaining. Whether you want to shop patio tables, grills, dishware. I mean, if you have a pool party, you want to kick back with some lounge chairs, day beds, umbrellas. I mean, Wayfair has it all. If you're looking to host, like a game day or a game night outside, Wayfair even has cornhole. They have string lights to set the scene. I mean, it's fast. It's easy shipping. There's no reason why you wouldn't shop on Wayfair because it's literally never been easier to get ready to party. So however you kick back, out back, go to Wayfair for effortless, entertaining, and game-filled gatherings. I have new outdoor seating outside that I am obsessed with. It's a set that I can move around. I can take it apart. I can change however I want my backyard to look, but I'm obsessed. There's something for every style, every home, no matter your space or budget. Wayfair makes it easy to tackle your summer home goals, okay? You can find all of your outdoor must-haves. And like I said, free and easy delivery, even on the big stuff. Shop outdoor furniture, grills, lawn games, and way more for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to explore a huge outdoor selection. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. Okay, are you finishing off your EP? As I said earlier, yes, it will come out at some point in the future, most likely this year, but my focus is on the book right now and the music will follow. I've had so much fun with the 27s. I have a special dedication to them in the end of my book in the acknowledgments, just creating the songs that we've had. It's been very cathartic, very just fun. Honestly, I just enjoy doing it. I'm not doing it to try and win a Grammy. I'm doing it to just put out some feelings and whatnot. And it's all the eras of Scheana from Vanderpump Rules. We've got, Boy Crazy. We've got the Scheana who is bullied. We've got Misunderstood, which you guys have gotten the smallest taste of on some of my little TikTok posts about the book. I've played that song a little bit. We have another called Pick Me and another called Dead to Me. So there's a little preview of the songs coming out. But I've realized that, honestly, much like this book, these songs that we have recorded and mastered mean so much to me personally. It has been a really great experience to just write about all of the things that people say about me, put it in a song, make it a bop, and it's been fun. I think it's helped me channel my voice, my thoughts, my feelings, traumas, all of the things. And just going through the creative process has really helped me heal in ways that I didn't know I needed. And that's a little part of my dedication that I have to the 27s in my book. Kevin, when he read it, literally had tears in his eyes. So thug tears, as he says. thing. Are you still jamming with the band? Yes, I am. And there might be a fun moment coming up with them very soon, like as soon as this month. All right. Do you already know if you're joining the Valley full time next season? Let's get through book tour first. I think it's part of my OCD, which is great for some things. It does help keep me safe and, cautious and whatnot, but it also doesn't allow me to look so far into the future. Like, I couldn't tell you where I'm going to be a year from now. I could tell you where I'm going to be a month from now, 2 months from now. Past that, I don't know. I don't know where my daughter's going to be going to school next year. I know where I want her to go to school, but I just don't really know. So, yeah, TBD. With divorce shakeups within your friend circle over the years, what advice do you have for others navigating breakups with friends and partners? Ooh, that's a good question. I did see this random meme on Instagram not too long ago that kind of summarizes the work that I've done personally on myself. And I'm continuing to work through, becoming a mom, doing therapy, the whole writing process of the book, also my music. But this meme, whatever thing that I saw, it said to live by 3 simple rules. The first one is that love needs action. The second one is trust needs proof. And the third one was sorry needs change. So I feel like in the past, as we all know, I've been too trusting of others. I think it's coming from a place of always wanting to see the best in others, but life has showed me that faith and trust can be 2 different things. The optimist in me, I always want to be an optimist. I always do want to see the best in people, and I always want to have faith in others that their intentions are always good, which isn't always the case. But to trust others with my time, my space, my energy, it's a lot. And I have been very trusting of people I maybe shouldn't have been. And I talk in the book about a time last summer where something happened to me that completely shattered my trust. Honestly, I don't want to get into it too much right now because I will start crying, but like full panic attacks at home. Yeah, it was a lot. Like, I had to question my most inner circle. It was a very dark moment for me personally, and it really changed me. And yeah, I do go into that in the book. Once you guys read the book and get what I'm talking about. I hate being vague. It's so hard because I'm like, I just want to say it all instead of being like, well, there's this thing I say in the book. But it is something I'll be opening up more about here on Scheananigans and in other interviews I do because I know people will have questions. But on the sorry needs change part, I recognize that I've been too quick to forgive and move on in the past. Here, let me say it this way. I'm never going to regret taking a path that leads to peace, that helps me sleep at night. I think my mindset for most of my life has been forgiveness meant moving forward. And, it's just, water under the bridge. But I guess at times, when the water rises, the bridge can flood. And for me, what I've learned and what I've been working on to implement in my life is that forgiveness, it can also mean letting go, but it shouldn't have to be a return to where things were before. And I think that's where I've been guilty is just, and this is one thing that Lala and I have in common, I'll say, is, we can get over things and we're like, sweep it under the rug or water under the bridge or whatever. And we forgive and we move on and things go back to normal. But, if things were to return to what they were before, then sometimes I think the pattern will just continue to happen. And that's kind of where I've struggled. I think that if both parties don't learn from the act of forgiveness, then nothing can grow. So I'm trying to be better about all of this in my life. I never want to be a person who doesn't forgive and move on because that brings peace to my life. But just because you forgive someone doesn't mean things have to go back to the way they were before, if that makes sense. How do you deal with the trolls and haters? Here's the thing. My motivation is to always be fair, and what's fair is not always what's popular. The comment section would be much better to me probably if I played to the latter. But as I said a few minutes ago, I would rather be able to sleep at night than to have full praise among the fans. I know people say that I'm on the wrong side of history all of the time, and sometimes I do get it wrong. We all do. And that's okay. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. That's human. But as a human, I am always working towards understanding and growing. And me being on the wrong side of history, as some people say, I'm not going to allow what people in the comment section say determine who I'm friends with. Like Demi, for example, Janet, for example. You may say I'm on the wrong side of history, but if these are people who are proving to be loyal, good friends to me, then I don't care what side of history I'm on, because I'm on the side of I have conviction and I believe in who these people are. And the list can go on, but it's like reality TV. Sure, it shows our real lives, but only a curated, edited version of it that fits into a storyline, which is also why I wrote a book, because I want my narrative to be out there. And guys need to remember, I don't know how else to say it, but it's like, these are not fictional characters, okay? It's nonfiction. It is real. We are people. We are not just, the bitch on the show, the villain, the nice girl, the this and that. It's like, that may be how we're painted on a show, but that's not who we are in its entirety. We are real people, real humans with real feelings. And I feel like you forget that. You just see someone on the show. And I mean, I see the comments about Janet, everything I post. It's like, if there's one nice one, I'm shocked. At this point, it's like every single person, it's like no one likes you. And I'm like, Jesus, this is a person. This is a human. This is a good friend, a good mother. And, as much as like we all have thick skin and can withstand most public scrutiny in a day, more than most people would receive in like a lifetime, it still isn't fun to see. It still is hurtful when you're just seeing comment after comment of negativity. I mean, it does get to you, most everyone on reality TV is in therapy, and whoever isn't should be. A lot of us are on SSRIs and whatnot. And I'm not saying that the show causes that by any means. It's just, there is a lot that comes with being on reality TV. And from what I've learned for my mental health, the best way to deal with that is, to be on a little bit of medication and to stay in therapy, and then to keep showing up and doing my job, because I like to share my story so that you guys know I'm going through shit too. And like I said earlier on the podcast, if I can go through it in front of the world, hopefully you can go through it just in your small, private inner circles. And it takes a lot of vulnerability to be in our shoes, a lot. Like, we're usually putting it all out there. And if we're not putting it all out there this season, maybe we're saving it for the next season when we're not ready to talk about certain things yet, which is another thing I address in my book. And we aren't just trusting the network, the producers, and everyone with our stories. We're trusting the audience. And anyone who has made it through a season of reality TV has a tough exterior and can take the heat. But we also understand that we wouldn't be able to do what we do without a very passionate audience. And you guys are invested in our stories, so you're a part of our storytelling as well. And just remember that words hurt. And, what was that golden rule? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. I feel like whether you love me or hate me, I have gratitude for you. I have learned very important lessons about myself from some of the negative comments and from some of the trolls, because I can see what you see sometimes. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I don't like how I handled that situation. Thank you for pointing it out. You could have maybe said it a little nicer, but I will be better. And that's how I grow and how I evolve. And also, you guys allow me to do something I love. And what I love isn't necessarily being on TV, putting my whole self out there. I mean, there have been sometimes season 6. When I've had to fast forward through my scenes, it's what I love more than just being on TV. I love sharing my story. I love giving a voice to others who have gone through similar struggles and life experiences as myself. I love being vulnerable, as challenging as it is. I really love putting myself out there, and the feedback from all of you is what fuels me. It's what keeps me going. And when I started reality TV, I'll say I wasn't too sure of what I was doing, but now I know my purpose within this medium, working with the International OCD Foundation and just really fully opening up, I know has helped so many of you. And trolls aside, I'm going to keep continuing to put myself out there, to be vulnerable and to share my story, because I do know that it helps. I do see, especially with Janet right now, I was saying this literally at the birthday party yesterday to one of our friends, just maybe, check in, send her a little message of love, because the online vitriol, it reaches an extreme. I mean, like Scandival level extreme. And like I've said, it takes thick skin to put yourself in this arena, but to be vulnerable this way, it's not always easy. And if people weren't vulnerable, the shows wouldn't be as entertaining to watch, I wish there was a way to be more fair, but I don't know. Have your favorites, have your opinions, but also show people grace and just know that there's always more to the story that you're not seeing. There's always more. You're seeing an hour conversation edited down into a couple minute scene. And it's so much more, I always see the comments, Scheana's on the wrong side of history. And it's like, no, I just have more of the story than you do. I see the other sides that you don't. And I could curb my opinions to what's popular, just to gain more love from the fans, as, many people do. Not going to say who, but that wouldn't be honest to my lived experiences, and it wouldn't be fair. So I'm going to continue to do what helps me sleep at night. And that's stay on the side of what I believe. And whether that to you is on the wrong side of history, to me, it's being real and it's being loyal. And I hope one day you guys see that. But I don't know. I guess the only times I'm really annoyed by the troll comments is when people are basing their opinions off of things that aren't true. That's when it really irks me. Like I've been saying with the book, my goal isn't to be liked. It's to be more understood. And if you know the facts, the truth, and you still don't fuck with me, then whatever. That's fine. Because if you don't like me for all of me, that is okay. I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and I get that. But I don't like being fully judged on part of the story. So, all right. Couple more questions and then we're going to wrap it up. Do you invest? If so, what in? Any finance tips for starting off? Well, first off, find a great investment financial manager that is someone who you really trust. I have one of my good friends' dads who runs all of my business financials. Honestly, I trust him so much that I probably can't tell you everything I'm invested in, but I know I'm doing well. I see my reports weekly. And I don't really care where he puts my money as long as it's making me money. And as I said, I just invested in a cafe in Costa Mesa called Salty Horse. So that was my first personal big investment, and I am so excited. What are your favorite Palm Springs spots? Las Casuelas. That is my shit. I love it. Everything about it. The food, the music, the ambiance. That's my fave. Also, the Palm Springs Surf Club. So fun. What's your favorite fast food restaurant? Ooh, depends on my mood, but probably Taco Bell. There's never going to be a moment where I'm like, Taco Bell doesn't sound good. And I'm a mild sauce girly. Not because I don't like spicy, because I do. My acid reflux does not. But the mild sauce, the flavor of it, 5-star. How is your journey going with Zoloft? Are you still on it? I am at 100 milligrams. We are capping it there for now. I'm feeling very good about it. I'm feeling mentally strong, and we're going to continue on it. Last question. What would the perfect day off look like for you? spending it with Summer. Honestly, my days off that I get to just be with her, no matter what we're doing, is a perfect day for me. Nothing really happened this week that pissed me off that much that I can think of top of hand. So I'm going to leave the Jack's Hole up to you. Go comment below. Who is your Jack's Hole of the week? And thank you guys all so much for listening, for watching. These solo episodes are a mouthful for me. But I love doing these because this gives me so much time to just talk to you. It feels like one-on-one. I'm answering all of your questions, and I can't wait to go on tour and answer more of your questions. And again, if you haven't already, pre-order my book or find me on tour this summer. You can head to mygoodsidebook.com for all of the tour dates, all of the cities, and stay tuned because hopefully we can announce some more. But until next week, see ya. Bye.